morning, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all so much for having back in to see what I have to say. I promise y'all, it truly does mean the world to me. But with that being said, let's hop into it. We're talking about the golden age in crypto and how America has done a complete about face, okay? But before we get into any of that, two things. Y'all, I have been so sick since last Thursday, so under the weather. I know y'all can probably see it in my face. I need to shave, but it is what it is. I need to tap in with y'all. I need to come and see what's going on. I've been seeing all the comments that's been flowing through on the videos that I did last week, and I appreciate y'all and I thank y'all. Second thing is, y'all, we hit 2,000 subscribers, you guys. Like, I'm so excited and I'm so happy and I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful for everyone who has taken the time to watch a video, found value in the video, and decided to subscribe to the channel. I thank y'all so much, for real, for real, for real. That 2,000 is nothing not to just celebrate. But I was in bed so sick when it happened, y'all. Like, these videos that I'm getting ready to show y'all, I was in the bed like screen recording these videos for y'all. But yes, so many amazing developments have happened in America's crypto journey, you know, going from this whole enforcement and just tyranny of just viciousness to, hey, this is the best thing since sliced bread, and we got to make this happen for America's future. It's insane, okay? But we just had a crypto summit happen here, a pretty major crypto summit, and you guys, the commander-in-chief, you know, Donald Trump himself addressed the summit. Okay, you guys, this is one of those videos I was in bed and I was screen recording for y'all because I had a whole video concept that I was trying to cook up for y'all. But here we go. Donald Trump at that crypto convention. But yet we also have a complete about face from the SEC. The SEC had a whole crypto summit round table where they had all these crypto people come in and they actually had a pretty positive conversation in regards to crypto in the future and the direction, whether or not it's a security and all of these things. And I got a couple videos coming from that for y'all as well. I know my energy is kind of low in this one. Just bear with me because I'm not feeling like 100%, but I needed to tap in with my people because I appreciate y'all, all right? So here we go. This first video, Donald Trump addressing their crypto summit.
Everyone at the Blockworks Digital Assets Summit. It's an honor to speak with you about how the United States is going to dominate crypto and the next generation of financial technologies. And it's not going to be easy, but we're way ahead. Just 2 weeks ago, we hosted the first ever White House Digital Asset Summit, bringing together many of the world's top leaders in crypto for a conversation led by our White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs, who's a fantastic and very brilliant guy. That same week, I signed an order creating the brand new strategic Bitcoin reserve and a U.S. digital asset stockpile, which will allow the federal government to maximize the value of its holdings instead of foolishly selling them for a fraction of their long-term value, which is exactly what Biden did. He got a fraction of their value. We're ending the last administration's regulatory war on crypto and Bitcoin, and that includes stopping the lawless Operation Choke Point 2.0. Operation Choke Point went beyond regulation, and I mean far beyond. It was a form of lawfare through government weaponization. Frankly, it was a disgrace. But as of January 20th, 2025, all of that is over. I've also called on Congress to pass landmark legislation creating simple, common sense rules for stablecoins and market structure. With the right legal framework, institutions large and small will be liberated to invest, innovate, and take part in one of the most exciting technological revolutions in modern history. It's so big, it's, I think, as big as you can get. Pioneers like you will be able to improve our banking and payment system and promote greater privacy, safety, security, and wealth for American consumers and businesses alike. You will unleash an explosion of economic growth, and with the dollar-backed stablecoins, you'll help expand the dominance of the U.S. dollar, and many, many years to come, it'll be at the top, and that's where we want to keep it. We only want to keep it at the top, always. I can already see that the energy and passion of the crypto community is the kind of spirit that built our country and it is exciting to watch as you invent the future of finance. And right here, it's going to be right here in the USA, the good old USA. Together we will make America the undisputed Bitcoin superpower and the crypto capital of the world. Thank you. Good luck. God bless America.
Y'all just saw that clip from Donald Trump in the Digital Asset Summit 2025 New York. Understand that this is a complete and utter shift. We have had such regulation by enforcement from things like Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren with the anti-crypto army, and to have a regime, now don't get me wrong, I am not by no means, endorsing, this administration whatsoever. But what I will say is, for anyone who's tapped into the distributed ledger technology sector, they are doing incredible things in the sector, which will only benefit people who are holding certain assets, okay? Especially these ISO gems that I talk about on my channel, your Quant, your hedera, your XRP and your XLM and your XDC and your IOTA and any other asset that have coupled themselves with standards. Because when you start coupling yourselves with standards and regulation, as far as your company is concerned, you are structuring yourself to be around. You are structuring yourself to be able to do global commerce when the sector gets regulated. Okay? Regulation is coming, you guys. They're trying to get things pushed to Donald's desk literally within the next 5 months. Like, these are things that they're actively working on. So you have the House and the Senate actively working on codifying law. You have the SEC actively working on if this is a security, if this is a commodity, and who has jurisdiction over it. Understand what is truly being laid out right in front of us. And if you are holding some of these distributed ledger technologies and these companies that are facilitating and building out infrastructure for economies to thrive, you won't be sorry. You will not be sorry tapping into this video right here as opposed to tapping into your next hottest meme. Because I promise you, when regulation comes into place, a lot of those meme coins will cease to exist. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, if you cannot come to the table and be regulatory compliant in whatever jurisdiction that you are trying to drive your good or product or service in, you cannot exist within those borders. So understand, if you're a meme token and you have a completely hidden, a not doxed whole team, and literally that there is no type of utility of what you're bringing to the world, you ain't gonna be around long. Because you're going to have to, and it's unfortunate to say this, but it's the truth, you're going to have to pay to play. That's how the governments work. They're going to say, if you want to do this, you have to pay this fine and this fee to file this. And to file this, you have to pay this fee. And these fees aren't cheap. You better ask Binance. Binance was fined $4.3, I believe, billion. Now think about these meme tokens. Some of them don't even have a market cap of 1 billion. So how can you, and I'm not saying they're going to find everybody 4.3 billion, because I know there's a lot of things like insider trading and all type of things that was going on, not insider trading, but as far as like money laundering and all that crap that they were saying that Binance was doing. But I won't even go into all of that. But what I will say is most of them won't even have the capital to be able to become regulatory compliant. So attaching yourself on the backs of these ISO gems, that's where you want to be. You want to be with the people that are already sitting at the table with the regulators, helping codify and helping craft the next sector of the economy, which is the distributed ledger asset sector, okay? But this next video is coming from Mark Ueda, who is one of the SEC commissioners, okay? He didn't open the summit, but he opened the summit. Somebody introduced him, and then so this was his speech when he first came out. This video is coming from my boy All in Crypto. He live streamed it. Boy, you rock, bro. I appreciate you. And y'all forgive me, my energy is low. I'm a little bit, because I don't feel well, but I appreciate y'all tapping in. So I'm with y'all. Here we go. That next video.
Well, thank you so much for that, Richard. And good afternoon, and welcome to the Crypto Task Force's inaugural roundtable, which will explore the complex legal issues involved in classifying crypto assets under the federal securities laws. But first, I really want to thank all of our panelists today and all of you in the audience for taking time out of what is a lovely day here in Washington, D.C. to be with us today. And particularly with this panel, I've had the privilege of knowing many of the panelists for, if not years, decades, and have looked at their writings and their thoughts. And I'm really pleased that we have such a diverse set of perspectives that you'll hear from today. In the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, a group or a person going by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto released a white paper describing a new peer-to-peer electronic cash system called Bitcoin that helped form an entirely new digitally native asset class. 17 years later, market participants, lawyers, academics, policymakers, and regulators are still grappling with critical questions related to the status of these novel crypto assets under the federal securities laws. This disagreement is most pronounced when it comes to the application of the investment contract test established by the Supreme Court in its 1946 decision in SEC versus W.J. Howey Company with respect to crypto assets. The challenges in applying Howey's investment contract test, though, are not unique to crypto. In fact, I've got a little bit of firsthand experience with it. As chief advisor to the California Corporations Commissioner, I stood before a California Court of Appeal and argued that the offering of a non-security certificate of deposit, when packaged with a separate receipt of a bonus payment, constituted an investment contract. Although the state court concluded that it was not, other federal appellate courts had held that similar arrangements do satisfy the Howey test. Now, in the years following Howey, various courts of appeals are split on various nuances and other aspects of that decision. For example, does Howey require the pooling of investor funds and pro rata distribution of profits? Or is it sufficient that investors need only share the risks with the promoter? In some circuits, the fortunes of all investors must depend on the promoter's expertise. But in other circuits, the fortunes of the investor must be interwoven with and dependent upon the efforts and success of those seeking the investment or third parties. Similarly, the courts of appeal are divided as to whether an investment contract requires post-sale efforts by the promoter, or if significant pre-purchase managerial activities undertaken to ensure the success of the investment suffices. Now, differences in opinions among various courts is not unusual. After all, a judicial opinion is limited to the particular facts and circumstances of that case. When judicial opinions have created uncertainty for market participants in the past, the Commission and its staff have stepped in to provide guidance. For example, the Commission clarified the meaning of an investment advisor's fiduciary duty under Section 206 of the Advisors Act in response to industry demand. The Commission also opined on the application of Howey to the offer and sale of whiskey warehouse receipts and condominiums, among other things. This approach of using notice and comment rulemaking or explaining the Commission's thought process through releases rather than enforcement actions should have been considered for classifying crypto assets under the federal securities laws. Today's roundtable is an important first step in addressing that concern. So thank you again to the many members of our staff who are on the Crypto Task Force, as well as our panelists and our participants and the interested public for your time in preparing for this roundtable. And I look forward to the discussions that follow.
Y'all just saw directly from Mark Ueda. You just heard everything he had to say in regards to the SEC and different policies and procedures and how they're moving forward, or what their hope and their goal is for moving forward. You guys follow me on this. Y'all saw early in the video our commander-in-chief Donald Trump addressing literally a crypto summit. Think about it. Think about, when have you ever seen a sitting president address a crypto summit? Understand literally what is being laid out in front of us on a platinum platter. And if y'all are tapping into this channel and y'all are into Quant and you're into hedera and you're into like XRP and XLM, y'all, and XDC, IOTA, all of these wonderful ISO tokens or any other token like a Jasmine, because Jasmine might not be an they may not be an ISO 222 token, but Jasmine also is coupling itself with standards coming out of Japan, okay? So any of these companies that are coupling themselves with standards that are getting in line for compliance, they can't help but flourish, because remember, they're so much bigger than crypto. You know, the word crypto has got such a bad tone and I can even talk, y'all, but I was gonna say condensation like it's raining. But yes, it's gotten such a bad just undertone to it, you guys. So for the distributed ledger asset sector to actually start to thrive, it's to rebrand it. It's to reshape it. It's to show the world that we cleaned up the swamp and now it's a beautiful pond and you all can come start swimming in it. This is exactly what they're doing, you guys. And to be here before the institutions, before mass adoption of retail, and to understand that it's not the mass adoption of retail as far as them trying to acquire the token. Okay, it's the mass adoption of retail, of them utilizing the services without even understanding or knowing that they're dealing in the realm of Web3, and that they're running on things like hedera, and that they're running on things like Quant every time they send a payment, or they're running on things like XDC when they send in trades. Like, understand, you guys, that we are in such critical, and like they keep on saying, the inflection point of the distributed ledger asset sector. And for anybody who is tapping in right now and picking up these gems and loading these gems inside their bag, y'all won't be sorry, you know? So I won't hold y'all too much longer. I just wanted to come and tap in with y'all. And if y'all made it all the way through this whole video, type in the word sick, because yo boy been sick, okay? But until the next time, y'all already know I appreciate y'all. Peace out.